Welcome to the Wellness Abundance Podcast. I'm Melissa King, your podcast host, board-certified health and wellness coach, certified personal trainer, and founder of Wellness Abundance Coaching. I created this podcast to help women like you learn more about your body so you can age gracefully and navigate the different seasons of your life effortlessly. If you're a woman searching for answers to unexpected weight gain, intense PMS, chronic fatigue, fertility challenges, PCOS, brain fog, and more, this podcast is for you. We'll do a deep dive into all areas of women's health and connect with experts so you can get clarity on what's happening within your body. This will empower you to take control of your mindset on the natural aging process and create flexible lifestyle habits that work for you at any age. Now, grab your favorite glass of wine, cup of coffee, or mocktail, and enjoy the episode. Hello, and welcome back to another Wellness Abundance podcast. I'm your host, Melissa King. I am super excited to talk about fertility today because I know these days so many women unfortunately struggle with fertility issues. And if you have not personally struggled with fertility issues, I have not, but you could be like me where you have friends, you know women, you have women and men in your life who have struggled with fertility. And there's a lot of things and environmental factors, toxins, there's so much that can affect fertility. Now, I just want to be perfectly clear, I'm not a licensed medical professional, so I cannot diagnose or treat anything. However, I am a trained and board certified health and wellness coach and certified personal trainer. And I do a deep dive into women's health, and this has been my life the last 3 years or so. So I've done a lot of research on how lifestyle habits affect fertility. So today I'm going to share with you the 3 things, what I like to call the fertility trifecta, the 3 lifestyle habits that you can start implementing if you are having issues with fertility. However, okay, if you are not having issues with fertility, don't turn off this episode. Keep listening, because when you're fertile, regardless of whether or not you want to, make a baby, grow a human inside of you and bring life into this world, it doesn't matter if you're in your reproductive years, being fertile is actually a sign of health. So if you're like me, I do not want to have a child right now. That is not one of my goals. However, I do want to be healthy. So, implementing these healthier lifestyle habits, that I'm going to share with you in a minute can be beneficial for you and just help you thrive. And so not only are you going to be fertile, which is, like I just mentioned, a sign of health for women and men, but you're also going to be able to navigate the hormonal changes throughout life, the natural biological progression that we go through in life as women. There's premenopause, which is, your reproductive years, perimenopause, that stage in your 40s where you're kind of seeing some changes and your body's kind of very slowly transitioning into menopause, and then there's menopause, and then there's postmenopause. So these lifestyle habits will help you not just improve your fertility, but help you kind of navigate the other stages of life effortlessly, maybe a little bit more effortlessly. So, okay, so what is this fertility trifecta I speak of? Well, it's actually very simple, yet not always easy to implement. So, and I'll talk about that. So it's whole food nutrition, frequent movement, and good quality rest. Okay. So let's dive into all the details. So whole food nutrition, I think we all know that, it's best to focus on eating whole nutrient dense foods rather than processed foods. I think that's pretty obvious, right? It's pretty clear. We all have a basic understanding of that. So this is pretty clear to us. It's just the implementing it, which can be the most challenging part, which I'll get to in a moment. But first, I want to dive into supplements, because when you're on a fertility journey, and I am just sharing this from my women I know who have experienced this. So a lot of women I talk to, when they're having fertility issues, they're working with a fertility practitioner, whether that be an OBGYN that specializes in that, another medical doctor, or, a different type of fertility practitioner. And a lot of times what these fertility practitioners do is they create this protocol. And a lot of them say, okay, yes, you need to eat whole foods. Okay. A lot of them focus on that, which is great. And a lot of them also create this whole supplement protocol. Now, here's the thing with supplements. It's super easy to go down this rabbit hole of supplements. I need supplements. I need supplements. This is what I need to do to have a baby. This is what I need to do to prepare my body for this. Well, yes and no. Supplements, in my professional opinion, are really great if you are not eating enough of the whole foods that have these nutrients, these vitamins and minerals in them. Then yes, if there's a food you don't like, that's, say, high in B12 or folate. Folate's huge for women who want to get pregnant, who are pregnant, and beyond. So this would be a good example of supplements. But if you're eating whole foods, a wide variety of them, you may not necessarily need these supplements. And the challenge with this is this fertility practitioner will create this entire protocol for you with supplements. And that's great. Okay, this person's just wanting to help you. But sometimes you have to take them at a certain time. It could cost, supplements, like the cost of them can add up. So this is why, and it's hard to remember to take them. You have to get pill boxes and to organize them. And sometimes it's just too much. But more importantly, it's just not necessarily necessary all the time. So I just want to share with you, there are 2 supplements that I take on a regular basis. Actually, technically 3. So the first one is magnesium. And I take magnesium to, number 1, help calm me down. Number 2, help me sleep. And number 3, help me recover from my workouts, because it helps improve muscle soreness. So I take that because I feel like I just can't get enough of it from whole foods. And also most people are deficient in magnesium. So magnesium is great. Collagen, I take collagen because it's really great for my hair, my skin, my joints, my tendons. So your joints, all the tendons, it helps make those strong. And so when you are doing your workouts, it will help make them strong. It can help lower any joint inflammation as well. So that one I take because one of the best sources of that from whole foods is homemade bone broth. But right now we don't have the ability, because of our lifestyle, to make homemade bone broth. So we supplement with collagen. Okay, that's a great example. There is another supplement I take for joint pain as well. It's called MSM. It's a mineral that our body makes. I can't remember the full name of it. It's like super long. Like, I'm not kidding you. It's probably like 20 letters long. I can't remember the name of it, but that really helps with joint pain. So it's very specific. So those are the 3 supplements I take. They're not that much. And another challenge with supplements is that they're oftentimes, like my husband likes to call them, expensive urine, because a lot of times your body absorbs these vitamins and minerals and other nutrients better from whole foods. So even if you're taking supplements, your body may not absorb them fully or as well as when you get them from whole foods. So, and when I work with my clients, if someone wants to it's out of scope of practice for me as a health and wellness coach and fitness coach to prescribe specific meal plans or supplements. But what I can do is I can help my clients find foods that have these specific nutrients in them that they are deficient in, and help work with them to incorporate them into their diet. So I think that's basically what I want to say with supplements. And because, like I said, a lot of fertility practitioners will prescribe this supplement protocol, which may not always be necessary. So I just want to encourage you to advocate for yourself. If you feel like you don't want to spend the money on these and you feel like you don't need them and you can get them from a different source, like a whole food source, then tell your practitioner that. So one of the big challenges for the nutrition aspect is making that shift from processed foods to mostly whole foods. And this can be a little challenging. So one thing that I recommend my clients, and this is something I work with my clients on a lot, like pretty regularly, just making some small changes, like getting very, very granular, like seriously, like starting super, super small. So it could be adding 30 grams of protein or 20 grams of protein or whatever the number is of, eggs or, complete proteins like animal protein, steak, bison, chicken, fish, anything like that, to one meal a day. Like just one meal a day. That's it. That's all you do. You focus on one meal a day, and that's it. And so that's one way you can do that. And then you just kind of build upon that. And this is one of the great things, like if you're having fertility challenges, whole foods and lifestyle should be, in my opinion, your first line of defense to overcome your fertility issues. I'm not saying the drugs and other things cannot help with it. I'm just saying from my perspective, I feel like a whole food eating style and lifestyle should be your first line of defense, because you're not spending tens of thousands of dollars on fertility treatments right from the get-go. So anyways, okay, I digress a little bit. So going back to, how to incorporate whole foods. So once you say we'll just use the example as 20 grams of protein. So 20 grams of protein with one meal a day, focusing on that. Once you get the hang of that, you get into rhythm. You're like, I got this. I can do this. I feel really good. This is so exciting. What's next? Then this is what my coaching conversations are like. How do we fit in 20 grams of protein? Let's try this method. Okay, this didn't work. Now let's regroup. Let's go back to the drawing board and do this again. Okay, now, did that work? Yes. Okay, that worked. Great. Let's move on. How's that going? Let's, keep talking about this and keep making sure that it's working and it's effective, because it's not going to be sustainable if it's not effective. So this is the goal, to create these healthier lifestyle habits that are sustainable for you. And then, and then we just regroup and we just do that, and you just build upon that and upon that and upon that. So if you are working with a fertility practitioner and their main role is to create this protocol for you, but not necessarily show you how to implement it, that's where I can come in and help you take that protocol and implement it into your life, because it's hard. It's hard to do. I struggled with it at first. I did go hardcore 12 years ago, and it was hard at first. It was hard, but I had a strong motivation behind it. And so I just kept going, and I was seeing results, which motivated me to go even further. I'm not hardcore anymore with my nutrition. I'm a little bit easygoing, a little bit more relaxed about it. But so I found that just doing things in small doses. So the second of the fertility trifecta is frequent movement. So we all know that I think it's pretty much safe to say that we all know that frequent movement and exercise, whatever that looks like for you, is good for us, right? Cardio helps strengthen our heart. Strength training helps kind of build the lean muscle mass, which is what we want, because the muscle mass protects our joints. So it's not just about being strong or, being toned and swole, like my husband and I like to say. It's not just about that. It's really for health related reasons. You know, our muscles really protect our joints, so it helps prevent injury, and it just helps us move about our day more effortlessly. So that's one of the great things about frequent movement. So that's, you know, cardio helps increase our lung capacity and it helps strengthen our heart muscle. And then the strength training helps build other muscles like biceps, chest, quads, butts. I always hear from women they want a nice, big, round, juicy butt. And you can get that. One way to get that is through strength training. So, and then also, you know, it's too much exercise can also inhibit your fertility, your chances of getting pregnant. So really just working out too much. I know it sounds crazy, but trust me, this is actually true. It's been scientifically proven that too much exercise can cause a lot of damage to your heart. And it also increases your cortisol levels, which is cortisol is your stress hormone. And if your stress levels are way too high, then that's going to affect your fertility chances. So basically that your body knows when it's the right time to reproduce and grow a human inside of you. Okay. It knows when it's ready to do that. Okay. So you just have to really, you know, trust your body and just find an exercise routine that, number one, you enjoy. You have to enjoy it. Otherwise, you're not going to do it. And it's just going to feel like a chore. And I say this because I hear this from people all the time. All the time. They get to a point where it's just not enjoyable. And you have to enjoy it and able to do it. And then, so really just finding that routine that works for you and also knowing your body. So really tracking your menstrual cycle will help you kind of get to know your body better and learn when to kind of take it easy. It's okay. You know, with my female clients, you know, if they tell me, oh my gosh, I feel so crampy. It's the first day of my cycle. I feel like crap. I ask them before we even begin the workout, how do you feel about moving forward with the workout? Do you even want to work out today? What would you like to do? If we had an intense workout planned, should we scale it back? So really kind of getting to know your body so you're not putting that unnecessary stress on your body. So, okay. So that's the exercise portion. And then one last thing I'll say about exercise is if you feel anxious around exercising, or you're just you don't even know where to start, you're concerned about your form, injury, anything like that, reach out to a professional. This is something I do all the time, you know. Probably the number one reason women reach out to me to work with them from a fitness perspective is that they just want to be safe and they don't really know what they're doing yet. So that's where I can come in and create a specific program for you based on your goals and your lifestyle and your abilities. So it's all customizable. So, okay. Now, the third of the fertility trifecta is good quality rest. Now, I already mentioned that high stress levels can inhibit your fertility, right? It can inhibit your ability to make a baby, okay, to actually grow another human inside of you. So we all have some form of stress in our lives. It's just a matter of, it's just life, right? It doesn't matter what it is, but we all have some form of stress. Now, it could be acute stress, which is just like you have a deadline at work, or you're just, you have a very stressful situation for a couple days, maybe a week. That's acute stress. So that's like your stress levels are super high for a very short period of time. The chronic stress is like the daily stress, and it goes on for days, weeks, months, even years. So when you have that can also inhibit your ability to, make a baby. So, one of the best methods of recovery, one of the best things to do to help kind of mitigate your stress levels is to sleep. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's something that's free and not a lot of people get enough of, but sleep. Now, I know there's other factors involved. I get it, that, don't allow you to really get quality sleep. But if you can really, create a really great sleep routine to where you wake up and you actually feel rested, to where you jump out of bed and you're like, yes, I got this. I feel so good. And this is how you should feel most mornings. If you don't feel like this every morning, it's okay. Trust me, I get it. We just recently had a night where we just didn't sleep well. We had super high winds here in Southern California and we just barely slept. Okay, so that's a rare occasion, okay? And but then I slept great last night. So I do feel refreshed and energized. I do still feel just a little bit tired today. So I don't feel as rested as usual, but that could just be because my body's still kind of getting caught up from the previous night's lack of sleep. But really creating just a really great sleep habits, And there are times that in your cycle, so for example, if you're in the luteal phase, like towards the end of it, and you're getting ready to start your cycle all over again, you're getting ready to start your period, your progesterone levels are probably dropping. This isn't for everyone. This is just, what research has found that, for most women, this is what happens. Your progesterone levels go down. And progesterone is a really important hormone to help you sleep. I noticed this during this time in my cycle where there could be 2-3 nights in a row where I just don't sleep very well I fall asleep, I wake up, use the bathroom, and then I just can't fall back asleep. And then I think, oh, where am I in my cycle? Oh yeah, I'm going to start in like 3 or 4 days. I probably have low progesterone levels. So then things like that, it's important to take into consideration and just, that's not necessarily stress, that's just hormones, but really kind of figuring out also, how can you make sure you get quality sleep? So if you have insomnia or you just can't fall asleep because you're stressed about everything, you have a lot of anxiety, then what can you do during the day to kind of mitigate that anxiety and lower that to where you feel a little bit more at ease and a little bit calmer? So magnesium, I mentioned that's huge for me. That makes such a big difference. And there are different types of magnesium, which that could be a whole nother podcast episode. So I'll put that in the docket, in the queue for down the road. But yeah, so really just, finding something like going for a walk, meditating, if that's for you, maybe even watching a funny show. I like to wind down at night, making dinner, having a nice meal with my husband, and we'll watch a show. And then, like an hour or so before we actually want to fall asleep, we'll brush our teeth, floss, just do our basic nighttime routine. And then I'll just read a fiction book. So really kind of figuring out what works best for you, because one thing I did not mention yet is that when we sleep, our body's recovery systems like kick into high gear. They're like, all right, Melissa's asleep, let's do this. And it goes into high gear and it does what it needs to do to help your muscles recover from any workouts. And basically help you de-stress, while you're sleeping. It's like, okay, we have all this stress, we have all this anxiety, we have all these things going on inside of us. Let's like clear all this out and start fresh. That's basically what your body does when you sleep. So this is why it's super, super important to make sure you get good quality sleep. So, okay, so let's review real quick the Fertility Trifecta. good nutrient whole foods, frequent movement, and good quality sleep. Okay, it's not always easy to implement. It's not always easy for me. And this is what I do for a living. I study this a lot and I help my clients with this, and it's not always easy for me. So just know, if you ever need help, you ever have any questions at all, just know that I am here for you and I will support you as we're working together, whatever you decide to do. So, all right. So if you are watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. I think it's a like, maybe it's a thumbs up. I can't remember. If you're listening on Apple, please give us a really great review on Apple if you like this podcast. Spotify, same thing. And also share this podcast with any woman you know who is currently struggling with fertility challenges, and let them know that I'm here for them and I'm happy to help in any way possible. So, okay, thanks so much for watching and or listening, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. The Wellness Abundance Podcast is sponsored by Wellness Abundance Coaching. At Wellness Abundance Coaching, we help women create flexible nutrition and fitness plans that fit into their life to help them lose weight effortlessly and navigate the different hormonal seasons of their life with clarity, empowerment, and flexibility. We offer one-on-one and group health and fitness coaching. To learn more about how we can help you navigate the different seasons of your life and become the healthiest version of yourself, schedule a time to chat with us by visiting melissaking.net.